Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming in. I'm here to do a check-in message for the Saturn retrograde in Aries transit, which is a very, very intense one because we have I think a total of 3 planets retrograde in Aries. That's cardinal fire, and it's happening during Cancer season where Jupiter and the Sun are also in Cancer. The retrogrades will last well beyond Cancer season, but the first entrance of the retrograde is happening under Cancer energy, which is cardinal water. So we have cardinal fire and cardinal water that can create a rather steamy environment. Needless to say, I'm going to do an AstroTarology intro. If you want to skip ahead to the collective reading, I'll put a link in the description box below. As well, if you're interested in booking a private reading with me, there will be a link for that too. But anyway, I'm not going to go into all of the retrogrades because I do plan to do separate videos for them. They're actually that impactful. In this video, I'm going to talk about Saturn retrograde and focus on those energies. Neptune already went retrograde through into Aries, July the 5th, I believe it was. And then on the 13th, Saturn joined it. And on the 24th, 25th of July, I believe, right after a new moon in Leo, Chiron retrogrades in Aries. So that's a pretty interesting combination because with Neptune, we have the dream. A lot of times we can look at it as the illusion, right? Because it's very mystifying. It's the wateriest planet and it is all about intuition. There's no way to get your mind or your logic around what you see when you're on Neptune. It all happens on the internal. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Again, cardinal fire. It's all about taking action and embodying that energy. So with these retrogrades, that can be about revisiting the dream and before taking action on it. But with Saturn doing the same, well, Saturn is what holds us back. It's the lessons that we've learned. And it is Capricorn energy. Capricorn is square to Aries. So when Saturn retrogrades in Aries, retrogrades, the energy turns inward. But it is, again, making sure that the lessons you've learned are being implemented in the dream you're creating. Aries, as the first fire sign, is the creator sign. It literally is here to get things started. All 4 of the cardinal signs are very, very passionate energies. Because of that, they begin the seasons. So their embodiment of the element that they have is kind of like planting the energy for what lies ahead. With cardinal fire, it's blazing a trail into a new life. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the first house. And these retrogrades will happen more or less till the end of the year. Beginning in the new year, they're all going to turn direct. And then we're dealing in a lot of fire and air energy and a lot of fast forward movement. So Saturn's jumping onto the scene to do what it does best and hold back any impulsive action, any reckless creation based on passion. Cancer and Aries, again, you put them together, you get the embodiment of water and the embodiment of fire. Incredibly passionate, incredibly emotional energy. So Saturn comes into play to say, whoa there, make sure that this is built on something solid as well, because you want to keep what you feel. It's not good enough if it's going to just go out like that, especially because the whole thing about Saturn is doing the hard work. It's going to ask you how much you want this, right? Is it temporary? Is it something that's just flaring your passions up, or are you willing to do the hard work? Because during these retrogrades, it's definitely going to be hard work. Now, when I say that retro internal, a lot of it is a revisiting of certain things, certain illusions that you've learned from Saturn energy, certain acts of passion, maybe impulsivity that you've learned from, things like that. Cancer and Aries coming together is incredibly powerful. It can create dreams, literally, create every emotional possibility. And therefore, you want to make sure that you've done that solid work that Capricorn asks you to do, because what is it worth if you can't keep it? So let me see, what else did I want to say? Yeah, okay, yeah. with the combination of the fire and the water and that passion and that let's get it, let's do it. I'm telling you, Aries and Cancer can be a rather dangerous combination because of that. There's a lot of like, let's go, let's do it, let's act on how we feel energy. But right now, with all of that being held in check by Neptune, by Saturn, by Chiron, which is our deepest unhealed wound, that's a separate matter. That's tied up in the reasons why this retrograde. Part of doing the hard work with Saturn retrograde in Aries will be bringing up a lot of those Chiron wounds for you. Even if you thought you'd done all the work, it doesn't really work like that. There's no arrival of a healed state. That's not the human experience. And with these retrogrades, again, it's asking you to take another look, because where you're going, where we're going, beginning in the new year, is going to be manifestations quick and the dreams being created. So the work being done now is essential, even if it feels like the thing you want the most and you're sure and you feel it and you know it, even if it feels like that thing is very elusive right now with that Neptune energy. You can sense it maybe, but not put a full structure around it. That's also what Saturn is doing here. Okay. Anything else? No, I believe that's all I'm going to cover astrologically in this video, but I am planning to do one on Chiron and Neptune together, because that combination together, especially again, because it's in Aries, it will dip into Pisces, not Chiron, but Neptune and Saturn, but in the final degrees of Pisces. So it's kind of that still energy there. But I'll cover those in a separate video. Anyway, you guys, let's get into the general reading. Along with all of those retrogrades, Mercury is also retrograding in Leo, which is my Mercury sign. So I do tend to be stumbling a lot during the readings. Please forgive me. I'm hoping, again, Neptune, that energy clears up a bit. This is still a general reading. It's for anybody, any sign. You'll know if you resonate with it, but you won't resonate with everything that I say the way that I say it, because it's a general reading. So just take what fits as it does, if it does, and leave the rest behind. Energies in the reading can always be vice versa or interchangeable. Look at this. We have chop wood coming out. It kind of drifted out of the deck. This has been coming out a lot lately. That's Capricorn energy. It is about doing the work, because where you're going, once again, you want that foundation to be very solid. If you want it that bad, I mean, that's what this transit's asking. What's it worth to you? How bad do you want it? Are you willing to do the work? And I'll tell you this, Saturn is always equal rewards for equal efforts. So think about that. Okay. Chop wood, doing the hard work. I'm going to take those two. Okay, we'll take these three. Look at this. By the book. Capricorn energy, not cutting any corners, doing it the right way. Because when you have that foundation, then it's not going to fall, whatever it is that you build. You can keep it. The unfinished symphony. Wow. Now, the unfinished symphony can be that dream or that idea or that vision. Because we're talking about very slow moving planets for the most part here, with Saturn and Neptune, and we have Pluto involved in all that, it can be that this has been a vision unfolding for you for a very long time. And the unfinished symphony is your life and that picture. It's doing the work. And then we have exchanging gifts, one of my favorite cards, because these two are a very playful and unlikely duo. The ballerina is dancing with that little bobcat there. That can be about coming together in collaboration. Unfinished symphony. I'm getting very creative energy here, but again, Aries, the creator sign. There's my words, you guys. It will get better. Pardon me. I do like that though. Very nice. Should we do? Yeah, okay. I've been doing astrology at the end, but I'm feeling guided. It could be astrological energy in your chart. in somebody around you or just overall influencing the situation. For Saturn retrograde in Aries, for Aries, Aries is Mars. And again, it's all of that passion, it's all of that vision, it's all of that drive. And Saturn's like, whoa, not so fast. Let's see. What else do we have from the star codes? One more. We have the 5th house. This is Leo's house. It's a house of creativity and passion. I thought I felt that. Unfinished symphony and exchanging gifts. The 5th house is all about that playful energy too. And explore. It's fellow fire to Aries. At the end of July, we have a new moon in Leo. Leo rules the 5th house. It can be also about your inner child coming out to play again. And it's safe too if you do this by the book. We have Mercury messages. Well, Mercury is our mind, but this can be communication because we have collaboration here. Also, right now we have Mercury rules Gemini. We have Venus there right now and Uranus. But by the book and messages, look what came out. No, Chiron. Now, Chiron is the wounded healer. It is because we process through that deepest wound within us, that unique self, that we can offer healing to others. Well, I'm doing a video on Chiron coming up soon, but there we go. It's coming out, and it has something to do with passion. So that's interesting. Look at Aries, Mars energy, the first sign. And then we have exchanging gifts. So the reason perhaps why the processing of Chiron with unfinished symphony is because it's what's preventing you from finishing it. And it may have something to do with this, with a collaboration here. We'll see where that goes. What's on the bottom? Oh, interesting. The Imam Coli, which brings in an earthy energy. Mars right now is in Virgo. But this has to do with our roots. So with Chiron, it's like way down deep. Whatever this is, this could go back to childhood. A little bit of unfinished business there. But it can also be with doing chop wood and by the book, doing things the right way, grounding it. Let's get into the reading. I'm going to use the Naked Heart. Let me see what's on your mind, because you have this 5th house of passion and the chopping wood, the doing the work. The thing is, when you, whatever this is for you, and we'll see if you're that passionate, again, that cardinal fire water energy, if you're that fired up about it, it's worth doing the work. Yeah, it's worth doing the work. The Knight of Pentacles, that's Capricorn energy, and it's about diligence. It's about knowing that if you take the time, I mean, Pentacles are about stability. It can be about ideas, for sure, or just planting a seed that's going to grow. So you want the foundation to be solid. You don't want to rush in. I happen to see the Chariot hovering on the bottom of the deck. Cancer energy, yeah. Now, Cancer energy is about getting into alignment with yourself. It's like the dark and the light side of the moon, that emotional pull that keeps you like all over the road, right? Like I said, it's about being careful, doing the work. We'll see what that is about for you. Let me see. What are you moving towards here with this Knight of Pentacles? The 5 of Pentacles, doing the work. The 5 of Pentacles looks like a bit of a broken fortune or an unfinished symphony, right? Not done. There's diamonds and pearls in this card now. Of course, that can represent actual financial things, abundance that way. But it can, again, be about a dream, a stability, an idea. And then we have by the book. So maybe it was in not that impulsivity in the past that kept it from being realized. Maybe it fell because the foundation wasn't there. Let me see what actions you should look at this. Maybe it fell. We have the Tower. Whoa. Aries and Scorpio energy. And for me, Aquarius, because it's Uranus, it's like sudden change. And towers do feel like they come out of nowhere. But what they do is drop down any kind of illusion that wasn't built to last. Interesting. And we have that kind of coming in here with Chiron. This is often the subconscious position. All right, let's see what you're heading towards here. What actions do you want to take? The Tower, an unfinished symphony. Let me see. What actions? You could have, oh my gosh. No kidding. We have the Lovers. Gemini is major. Remember, Venus is there and Uranus. We saw the Tower. Interesting. But the Lovers is a very, very passionate connection. It can be between two people. It can be between yourself and a dream or an idea. But really, because it's Gemini energy, it represents the two sides of you, the twins. And whatever this is, a connection or anything, we have Chiron, it brings that up in you. And it sends you to a crossroads where you need to make a choice. When it comes in with the Tower, that's a very difficult choice to make. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Nine of Swords, air energy. The Nine of Swords is trying to use Gemini. It's trying to use the mind to make a decision that only the heart can make. It's fear, it's anxiety. You can, oh, there's the Tower. It stayed there. Look at this. There can be a fear that it's all going to fall away, like maybe it did before, Five of Pentacles. You don't want to feel that loss again. But when we encounter this Lovers connections, it wakes up our heart to a side of ourselves. You can't look away from that. Let's see the energy around you. This can be another person, or it can be the situation. The Three of Pentacles, interesting. The Three of Pentacles is a card about wanting to get on the same page with somebody. It can be about collaboration, exchanging gifts. I like all these pentacles coming through because that's Saturn at work. Did you lay the groundwork? This is about like seeing eye to eye and whatever the symphony is, co-creating it, making sure the vision's the same. Could be somebody that is a friend of yours or a collaborator already or in your work environment. Let's see. What's your challenge here? What's the challenge? Well, we do have Chiron here. So what's the challenge? The Ace, yeah. The Ace of Wands, fire energy. I like the cat. There's that Leo energy. And Wands, the Ace of Wands can be about communication. So we have the Knight of Pentacles to the Ace of Wands. Yeah, the one thing about the Ace of Wands is that it is the heart starter. It often comes in with me for the Lovers. It's very passionate, but unless it's grounded here, it can go out, right? It needs to be cultivated, and this looks like cultivation. It can be a passionate idea. Let me see a potential outcome. Okay, look at this. Chariot and the Two of Cups. No way. Venus in Cancer energy. So Venus is in Gemini right now. When the new moon in Leo happens, Venus should be, I'm not sure, but close to Cancer by then. Collaboration, soulmate energy. Well, that's why the Ace of Wands and the Lovers is here. It's my heart to heart, is eye to eye, seeing things on the same page. And then we have the Chariot. The Chariot is, remember we saw it come in with the Knight of Pentacles? It's movement forward. It's victory. And it's definitely about getting into alignment. A lot of this is. And maybe that shadow side that kept you from being in alignment was what the thing was that kept you in the Five of Pentacles, if that makes sense. But anyway, the Two of Cups. Wow. Underneath of that, we have the Six of Cups, Scorpio energy, one of my favorite cards in tarot. The Six of Cups is, especially with the two, very deep soulmate energy. This can be a person from your past. Yes, we are in retrograde season. But more than likely, it is about like a sense memory. If I said revisiting the dream, it can be about what you're meant for too. We'll see where all this goes. I know it's getting deep. People tell me my readings are very, very too deep, but it's how the messages come through for me. Let me see the Knight of Pentacles. Worth the work, right? Oh, wow. Oh, come on. We have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is the beginning of the Ten of Cups. It's very creative. It's very emotional. Look at this. Ace of Cups and Ace of Wands, Cardinal Fire, Cardinal Water. That's the energy you're playing with. Amazing. And you know that. Knight of Pentacles doing the work. This guy's been visiting the readings a whole lot. We have the Ace of Wands, or I mean the King of Wands. Well, of course he is Leo energy, but also Aries and Sag. He's the creator. And you guys know he's my favorite king. He's holding on to that Ace of Wands there. And he's watching this building in the past, his past, burn to the ground. He's leaving it behind. Leaving it in the past. It's time for a new beginning. When the King of Wands is fired up like that, he gets what he wants and he takes action. But is being trapped behind the Knight of Pentacles. So there's a reason for that. Because the King of Wands is very powerful. But you don't get to King of Wands energy until you've learned the lessons of reckless passion. And we already talked about that, right? Chiron here. Let me get a sip. Can be about stepping into your leadership as well. Both Aries and Leo are signs about autonomy and leadership. So, okay, let me see the Five of Pentacles with this by the book. The Seven of Wands, wow. In the Seven of Wands, this is one of the rare versions where there's a man and a woman, two people, and she is holding on to his leg, like bracing it at the onslaught of energy, trying to stop them, trying to get in the way of the path of the choice they want to make. That is why the King of Wands is coming in so fierce. This can be about other people around you and learning to stand up for yourself. That could be part of this too. Yeah, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, right then. Interesting. Okay. We get another five, the Five of Cups. The fives are transition points. They're halfway to the 10. And it's where our belief in ourselves it comes into question. Are we a product of how we were raised or the energy that influenced us, or are we our independent, autonomous self? Where does that begin and end? The Five of Cups is about sadness. It's about regret and remorse. It can be Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups, looking at what maybe you did this before, again, revisiting the dream, unfinished symphony. And there can be this kind of lingering energy of loss. Yeah, Ten of Swords, I love it. The Ten of Swords I've seen this in the collective a lot. It makes sense. With all that hovering Aries energy, right? The first sign again, the beginning of the new. Before it enters, endings have to happen. And the Ten of Swords is the end of a long and difficult cycle of learning. It's swords. It's our mind. We have Mercury attached. Okay. Five of Pentacles hovering there. I mean, the fives are Hierophant energy, reconciling with your beliefs. By the book here. And maybe because you tried to comply with the rules, your autonomy was feeling shut down, or your creative drive. Same for some of you. Let's see the Lovers in the actions. Making the choice. Let's see. Star and the Lovers in the surrounding energy. This is Aquarius, this major. Remember we saw the Tower? This is the true wish. This is the refined vision. Because whatever it is, Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, that dropped away in the past, it revealed what is real, what is true. The Star is also about hope and healing, unfinished symphony. Let me see the Star. With the King of Wands and the Star, it can be about your own potential, reaching for the Star. King of Wands does that. Yeah, beautiful. The Ace of Swords. Saw the Nine of Swords and the 10, the truth, a decision made. Whatever you're worried about, whatever you're trying to make this decision to do, here's your answer. Clarity comes with the Star. Now, this can be you communicating to somebody. We'll get into that further. Yeah, because what follows is the Three of Pentacles and exchanging gifts. What gifts do you want to exchange? Let me see. Look, it's the Chariot and the Magician. Virgo and Gemini, Mercury here. The Magician works with all of the aces to create new beginnings. He's the first or the second card in the major arcana after the Fool. We have Aries energy, which is the Fool. But yeah, what you want to create. And remember, I said you're working with the elements of fire and water. That's why I'm pleased to see all the Pentacles, because it means whatever you're cultivating here is going to last. You're putting in the groundwork. And then the Chariot's there, Cancer. The Knight of Pentacles, you're putting in the groundwork. We have the Magician here. Let's do one more. Nice. Okay. Oh, beautiful. All right. We have the Knight of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, but we go from the Knight of Pentacles to the Knight of Cups. Who holds that Ace of Cups? Putting it into action. An offer, an apology. This can be you approaching somebody to co-create. Cups can be about creative energy as well. He's my poet of the tarot. And I was getting creative energy with this fifth house. But look who's on the bottom of the deck. The Emperor. Divine Masculine, Mars energy. Aries, Capricorn, and Taurus for me as a reader. The Emperor builds empires. And it takes that kind of passion to do so. And that is what your dream is. So I see that you want to offer that to somebody, Six of Swords. Okay, moving forward. Let me see the Ace of Wands. Why is that a challenge for you? It's the Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles. The Emperor builds empires. The Ten of Pentacles is a legacy. It's something that's built to grow and last over time. It can be a home, a family, a business, something like that. Let me see the Emperor. The Seven of, whoa, all right then. What even? Okay, I get it. Okay. We have the Seven of Swords, more air energy. The Seven of Swords is a card about strategy and secrecy. It's about you can know what you know when it's time to know it, that's for sure. It can be about keeping your plans to yourself, being protective, not wanting anybody to know. Comes in with the Knight of Wands and the Devil, but see what I'm saying? Okay, there's Saturn coming through. Capricorn's major arcana. And I don't doubt that with this much passion. But the Devil's coming in once again to say, are you sure? Two of Pentacles, are you sure? The Knight of Wands and the Seven of Swords, though, is especially when I see the Devil. Remember when I said there can be a fear of, maybe you're afraid of whoever you're going to approach is going to be in this energy, Seven of Swords, Knight of Wands, too impulsive, too like sneaky. They could go behind your back. Maybe this is a one that's going to go out. The Emperor appeared here in the challenge because you build empires, Ten of Pentacles. Now there can be for some of you where it's going to involve you leaving behind something that was already built. Emperor can be husband for sure, so it can be a marriage for some of you. But for others, it can be an empire, whatever that means for you. Let me see the Chariot. I'm only going to take this one. Look at the, okay. We have the Five of Wands, Leo energy. The Five of Wands is passion. And this can be about you wanting to engage in that passion. It can be about wanting to like exchange ideas. Five of Wands in the Chariot. Let me see. It can be about confronting something though. Let me see the, because remember Seven of Wands here. Let me see the Five of Wands. It's like I'm going to go for it whether there's conflict or not. Yeah, interesting Leo energy strength. Leo season this year is huge. And part of that, remember when I said next year is time when the dream takes shape? Well, next year, the North and South node move into Leo and Aquarius, which is our nodes of destiny as a collective. And we see that here with the star. And then we have strength showing up and the King of Wands. Strength is about courage. And it is about conquering that beast within you, whatever, again, that is. That's what this is. That keeps you from acting in your own best interest. It can be about like getting over a fear of competition for some of you. The Seven of Pentacles, the seeds that you're planting, the plans that you're making, investment for the future. Yeah, the Three of Pentacles and Seven is 10 of Pentacles. That's what you want. Yeah, interesting. The Hangman, Pisces. All of this energy is retrograding towards Pisces. But the Hangman is about holding yourself back with strength as well. And we do have that it's a lot of energy to hold back the Ace of Cups and the King of Wands. But you want to make sure you do this right. And I get that a lot in the collective right now. All right, let me grab a different deck. We'll go a little deeper on that Seven of Swords and Knight of Wands, that's for sure. I mean, you could be afraid that you're going to let yourself down that way again. Maybe you did that in the past. We'll see. We're going to go to the wild unknown. Let me start there. Let me see that Seven of Swords. And these. Okay. We have the Four of Pentacles. I don't know. This can be about what kept you stuck. This can be about you releasing, wanting to release what's keeping you stuck. Let me see that Four of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. Interesting. And the Ace of Wands. And then we have you wanting to build towards the 10 of Pentacles. I think the Seven of Swords is about keeping your plans to yourself. I mean, the Emperor does that. He's the combination of all four kings. He's very wise. He's learned a thing or two. Let me see that Seven. I'm not keeping all these. Jeez. The King of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. Fire and water. The king of these two aces coming out. Amazing. Wow. Let me see the Lovers and the Ace of Swords. This is what you're moving towards. The Hanged Man again. This row of what you're moving towards here, of the actions that you're going to take, rather, same deck. Ace of Swords, the Star, the Lovers, the Hangman. It's all major arcana. Very, very spiritual energy. And we see the third king. He's who's responsible for all of these pentacles. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I wonder what this, where did the Tower come from? The Tower is here in this deck. I know we saw it in the other deck twice in the Naked Heart, but look, it snuck out of the deck somewhere along the line. The Tower. Unbelievable. Okay. And I see the King of Wands and the Ace of Cups, the Chariot, and the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups is about partnerships and collaborations. It can be about getting on the same page. For some of you, I still think, though, there could be a concern for you that whoever it is that you want to approach, because we have that partnership card here, we saw the Two of Cups. You could be afraid that there's competition for some of you. And this King of Wands is very bold, though. But more often than not, though, the Three of Cups is a card about getting, like, celebrating, being happy, being on the same page, union. The Hanged Man, Six of Pentacles, and then the Page of Swords. Okay. So you definitely are curious about, and also wanting to make an offer. And will it be balanced? Will it be equal? So you could be observing this person. Notice how the King of Swords is missing, the communicator. You could be observing this person until you're sure, before you make this offer, because again, maybe you've learned that before. With that Six of Cups, maybe this person reminds you of who you tried to do this with in the past. Oh my goodness, that just came through very strong. Remember I said a sense memory? And that could be your fear, because it didn't work. But this isn't the same story. Let's take that Chariot one step further. Let me see who you're heading towards. This is all you. I don't see the person, but you do. And that's interesting. The Nine of Swords. Okay. The Ace of Cups. Very, very concerned about this. I'm not laughing. I didn't mean to laugh. I'm just saying, like, that's intense. Nine of Swords. The Tower. Come on. I mean, that is what happens when we sit and Hangman, Nine of Swords too much, right? There comes a time of taking action. And I feel like this is pointing towards that new moon in Leo. I believe it's the 24th. We have that Seven of Pentacles, the plans. I can't leave it there. One more. There could be travel for some of you, because we keep seeing the Chariot. Unfinished Symphony. These are like the notes. I knew we were going to see the Hermit. There's Virgo. The Hermit is very wise. He goes within to block out any outside influence, so he only hears his own wisdom. And look at that's like the Ace of Wands burning on top of his shell, where his passion is leading him to a Swords. You want to make that decision for yourself. But you do hear Ace of Swords. You do. There's the Knight of Cups. Beautiful. And offering this plan. But you do seem very nervous. You know what? Let's just grab the Llewellyn and I'll draw one card for this Knight of Cups, because who do you want to make this offer to? This unfinished symphony. Whatever that is for you. Look. It's the Two of Cups. I love this Two of Cups. This couple here, you can see how they're like fully wrapped around each other and entwined. There is strong soulmate energy here. Very strong. But each of them is holding their own cup. That's an equal partnership. Please tell me. Yes. You guys, you saw it happen recently. The Five of Pentacles. One more. Two of Cups. I don't think we're going to fight. Cups. Ten of Swords. The old story is over. 10 Swords isn't easy. And that's why all this fire and water is kind of, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Ace of Cups. The Page of Pentacles. I like this. Messages. That's the idea. That's you beginning to plant the seeds here and reaching out to somebody. Okay. Interesting. Let's go to the blue deck for a minute. How's my timing? Ooh, oh my gosh. All right, I'll wrap it up. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, I know. Deep, right? I hear ya. Man holding a heart. Why? That's the King of Cups. I noticed that the King of Cups was like, he jumped out, remember, in that whole pile? And then I put him back in, and out comes the Knight. So, again, the beginning, taking it slow. Yeah, the thinking man, no kidding. Nine of Swords. There's the King of Swords coming out. And the World. Well, the World is about completion of cycle, but it can be about like a whole new world for you. Travel, a distance. Have one more. I mean, the Hermit and the Hanged Man. It's a lot of spiritual processing that you've been doing with that Chiron, working through your past. The Magician and the Mirror. Oh, unbelievable. We saw the Magician, and the Mirror is that perspective shift. That's how you see you and what you're capable of. King of Wands. Male or female, cornucopia and victory. Ten of Pentacles in the Chariot. All right, let's get you a few talisman. Consider these to be like little power words that you can take away from the reading with you if it resonates. This was quite okay. All right, we have concealment. Seven of Swords, protection. Very protective. Learn the truth. Ace of Swords, Nine of Swords. Let's have one more. Maybe learn the truth of why it didn't work in the past for you, whatever this dream was. There is a possibility for some of you actually reaching out to somebody from your past with this. But with the Six of Cups, again, it's ethereal. It's more like a feeling returning to you. Okay. Healing energy. Star. Amazing. One more. Intuition and passion. That is so beautiful. All right. Why don't we? You know what? I'm going to do a romance angel for those of you where this is romance. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It can be about a creative partnership entirely. Or, yeah. And I could say, no, there's a lot of passion and creativity. Family. Unfinished symphony. You'll know what that is. Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Right? Because next year, remember I was talking about Neptune? Clearly decide what you want. You deserve love. You are lovable. Chiron. And then give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Let's do one more. Make the effort. What I've been saying this whole reading. Right? How bad do you want it? Great love is worth taking the steps that you're guided to take. Amazing. All right, you guys, that's what I have for you. I hope it resonated. I hope it helped you in some way. I'll see you very soon. Whoa, Cancer season. I have a lot more astrology videos planned. I love you guys very much. Namaste.